Your Excellency, Chief Justice Richard Banda, SC retired. Your Honor Kumbo Hastings Kachali, Vice President of the Republic of Malawi. Right Honorable Dr. Justin Malewes, former Vice President of the Republic of Malawi. Honorable Joyce Banda, MP, Minister of Mining. Ministers and Deputy Ministers present here. Ms. Sandra Bloomingcup, World Bank Country Manager. Sorry if I have mispronounced the name, but Sandra is the best. Your Excellency Alexander Baum, Ambassador and Head of Delegation to the European Union. Mr. Greg Walker, General Manager of International Affairs for Paladin Africa Limited. Mrs. Emma Adams, President of the Malawi Women in Mining. Mr. Bright Msaka, SC, Chief Secretary, and all senior government officials present here. Mr. George Zulu, Deputy Secretary General of the People's Party, and all members of the National Executive Committee, and all members of the party present here. Your Excellency, Madam Tandiwe Dumshena, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, and all members of the Diplomatic Corps present here. Mr. Paul Kalilombe, our District Commissioner, Mr. Paul Mulula, Acting Chief Executive for Lilongwe City, and Reverend Malani Ntonga, our officiating clergy this morning. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today marks yet another important milestone in my government's efforts to turn around the economy of this country as I officially launch the Mining Governance and Growth Support Project. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I take pleasure in presiding over this important function because this project is one of the 3 Economic Recovery Plan priority projects identified within the Ministry of Mining. Allow me also to explain that as I reorganized the ministries, or a better word, when I reshuffled cabinet, I decided that we should pay more attention to the mining sector, that there was potential in this sector for us to create wealth and to create jobs. So I split the Ministry of Mining and Energy, and already we are beginning to see the benefits of that decision. I also decided to strengthen the Ministry of Trade because we need to develop SMEs and we need to pay a lot of attention to the sector, especially SMEs, for the potential they have to create wealth and to create jobs. I'm also eager to improve our position on the ranking at the World Bank as a destination for doing business. The 3 projects that have been identified in the Ministry of Mining are: 1, this project we are launching today, but secondly, it is the development of small-scale miners to form cooperatives and associations. And the 3rd, the minister tells me, will either be Nobium or cement. So at the end of 2013, people should query us, and we should look Malawians in the face and say we have delivered. Malawi is an agro-based economy. My government, therefore, would like to diversify this situation. Hence, the mining sector is expected to contribute significantly to both the gross domestic product and foreign exchange earnings. Before 2009, contribution of mining to GDP was only 3%, but rose to 10% after 2010 due to the opening of the Kairekera uranium mine. The contribution by the mining sector is expected to increase to at least 20% of the GDP by the year 2016. This is one of the reasons why I created the Ministry of Mining, to dedicate all its efforts in mining. The geological mapping information that this program will generate will significantly enhance the mining profile of this country. As you are aware, the economic hardships that we are currently facing emanate from the narrow economic base. Agriculture, and to be specific, tobacco is our key foreign exchange earner. It would just take one bad crop season or poor world crop prices for our economy to be exposed to foreign exchange-related economic shocks. As we all know, when the supply of foreign exchange dwindles, our industries and indeed the entire economy suffers. Mining, therefore, is specifically targeted for its potential to generate foreign exchange. I'm pleased, therefore, to note that the project will facilitate the development of infrastructure for generation and distribution of reliable geological information. It will also facilitate the development of policy instruments to steer good governance and growth of the sector. This program will also focus on the following: review the legal and regulatory framework to support the development of policy and act for the promotion of artisanal and small-scale mining. 2, build capacity and provide support to small-scale miners, especially women and youth. 3, develop standard documents and procedures for issuing licenses and negotiating agreements. And finally, creating value addition and standards in line with the National Export Strategy, which I launched in December 2012. It is my government's objective to ensure that artisanal and small-scale miners are assisted to generate income from their mining activities. My government is also currently working in organizing these artisanal and small-scale miners into well-organized cooperatives. I therefore direct that the Registrar of Cooperatives and the Office of the One Village, One Product in the Ministry of Industry and Trade to work closely with the Ministry of Mining in promoting artisanal and small-scale mining cooperatives. I was speaking to the official of the National Bank as I toured the pavilion this morning, and I told the manager there that the National Bank, as well as other banks, need to find ways of promoting small-scale miners. I say this because I know for sure that the Standard Bank has come up with innovative ways of promoting vendors and small-scale businesses in the marketplaces throughout the country. And it's bearing fruit already. And so I told my daughter Gladys that she doesn't have a choice but go back to National Bank and tell them that they are being overtaken by Standard Bank. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, please allow me to mention some of the mineral exploration and mining activities taking place in the country. Paladin Africa Limited of Australia is currently mining uranium at the Kairekera uranium mine in Karonga district. I told the chief executive when I met him this morning that I am praying so hard that the prices should go up because we need that mine to succeed because it is the first one in the country. Globe Metal and Mining of Australia is conducting a bankable feasibility study over the Kanyika Nobium deposit in Mzimba district. Mining of this project is planned to commence in 2014, depending on what side of 2014. Apart from Nobium, the deposit also has uranium, tantalum, and zircon. Number 3, Nkango Mining Company of the UK, but registered on the Toronto Stock Exchange, is actively exploring for rare earth elements at Songwe Hill in Palombe, Balaka, and Mwanza districts. So far, over 31 million tons of ore with rare earth minerals have been discovered, making this a multi-billion dollar mining project. I have been informed that some part around Lake Chirwa, where we have huge deposits of rare earth, we have a problem because I think it is a declared site by UNESCO as protected because of the birds that are supposed to be flying over to that place from Egypt. And I have said, well, the choice will be between eating up the birds and mining our rare earth. The Japan Oil, Gas, and Metal National Corporation of Japan, in a joint venture with Gold Canyon of Canada, are conducting exploration of bauxite and rare earth elements on Mlanje Mountain. Linus Corporation of Australia is re-evaluating the Kangankude rare earth prospect in Balaka district. The Kangankude rare earth deposit is perhaps the single most important mineral deposit for Malawi at the moment. This is because of its size, mineral grades, geographic location, and general quality of the resources. I have directed the Minister of Justice and Mining to give Linus Corporation every support that they require. Motor Angel is exploring for rare earth minerals, gold, platinum, and associated minerals in Lilongwe, Mwanza, and Cheu districts. Lafarge Cement is finalizing a feasibility study of the Chenkumbi limestone deposit in Balaka district. Bwanje Cement product is at advanced stage in the development of cement factory at Bwanje in Dedza. Zagaf Cement Company in Mangochi, Njeleza has started producing cement already. Shayona Cement Company is carrying out massive expansions at their Kasungu cement factory. CPL Mchenga Coal Mines, L&Co Kaziwiziwi Mining Company, AGD Investments, and Consolidated Mining Industries are mining coal in Rumpi, Karonga, and Chitipa districts. Crown Minerals Limited is conducting mineral processing feasibility study of the heavy mineral sands at Tengani in Nsanje district. Shorestream Petroleum from the UK is carrying out an environmental and social impact assessment for oil and gas exploration in Lake Malawi in blocks 2 and 3. SAC Oil of South Africa are about to start oil and gas exploration in block 1. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we all can see from the initiatives I've just outlined, the future looks bright for Malawi. I can see jobs being created. I can see wealth being created. I can see communities being changed and developed. I can see our health system being improved. And indeed, I can see skills being developed. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, let me take this opportunity to thank the following in a very special way. The French government, which has signed a 10 million euro grant agreement with my government for geological mapping, and for committing to join the project and execute geological mapping as a follow-up activity after the airborne geophysical exploration is completed. 2, the World Bank for financing the project with a loan amounting to $25 million US. The European Union for co-financing the project with a grant amounting to 4.1 million euro. And the Japanese government, who have already started working with the ministry in applying geographic information system and remote sensing in mineral exploration. I wish to take this opportunity to appeal to the private sector and our development partners to support my government's effort to realize a modern, efficient, and effective mining. In particular, I want to appeal for support to establish a Center for Excellence Mining Laboratory and a School of Geological Studies and Mining. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my government is aware that one of the major challenges facing the mining industry is energy. However, I want to assure the business community and Malawians at large that my government has put in place projects that will resolve the energy shortages in this country once and for all. My administration will ensure that Malawians who are the owners of these resources remain the primary beneficiaries. Allow me to end by saying that I have personally spent most of my adult life trying to support small-scale miners in this country. I was pleased to see Emma Adams this morning, who has worked for 30 years in this sector, in the small-scale mining industry. But I think I need to share one story that happened some years ago in the same sector, in my quest to support women in mining. A group of 10 women came to see me at my headquarters and said that there was a cooperative where men were mining limestone in Lilongwe, about 20 kilometers from Blantyre, and that the women in the area were not being allowed to participate. The tradition in the South is that we own the land. The women own the land because it is customary land. And it is in a matrilineal system of marriage, the land belongs to the wife. Now, what was happening at this cooperative was that it is the husbands who were running the cooperative, but mining the stone on the land that belonged to the women. And of course, being as voiceless as we are, they had suffered in silence for a long time and had heard about Joyce Banda and decided to go and meet Joyce Banda. And so they came to my office and said, "We are sure you can do something about this situation." And I said, "What do you think we can do?" She said, "Go and chase them from the cooperative and give it to us." I said, in the legal world, it's not as simple as that. But why don't we just work towards having your own? And they looked at me and said, "That's not possible." I said, "Yes, you can own your own factory or your own mill. And who knows, one day you might be able to employ those gentlemen." And so I started negotiations with the European Union. It was then Mr. Zima, who was the ambassador to Malawi. And he took a long time. In the meantime, the mill for the cooperative broke down and broke down beyond repair. So by the time we installed this new mill, the men were at the doorstep to come and run that mill. And in order to protect the women, I said, well, the rule is simple. The mill shall be run by women. The engineers, the repairs shall be carried out by women. So the European Union also facilitated training for all those women to be able to be self-sufficient. Now the men turned up and said, "And what do you think then we shall be doing while you're running a mill and even repairing it and even running it and even selling the lime?" They said, "Well, Joyce Banda did not put any restrictions at the mine where we are crushing stone." So on the day we went to open the mill, the husbands were at the pit crushing stones. The women were at the mill grinding the stone into lime. finished product. And I called them aside. I said, remember what I said? That one day you might just employ them. I was very pleased this morning that I went around and a woman said to me, how are you? And I said, I've seen this face before. He said, yes, I'm the owner. I'm one of the 30 women that own the mill, mining and crushing and bagging and selling the lime in the shops of Blantyre and Lilongwe. It can be done. It's possible. It is very, very possible that even rural women can own a mill. And so this is what I would leave on the table for all of you sitting here. That when we say we can develop a very strong, small-scale mining sector, especially for women and youth, I've tried it before, and it is possible. And people can go now and see the women on that point. I would like to invite the Minister of Trade and Industry and his deputy and the mining minister and your PSs to go and see what the women are doing there. And perhaps they might need more support. But that's our starting point. With these few remarks, I would like to declare this mining governance and growth project officially launched. May God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your inspiring speech and inspiring speech to all Malawians, calling on them to take part in the project. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We'll now all stand for the Malawi National Anthem.